What's the biggest mistake people make, though?
Well, the biggest mistake they make is listening to a lot of other people and buying something because they think it's going to go up next week or next month. I say basically hold. I mean, the idea that the European news or a slowdown in this or that or anything like that, that would not cause you, if you owned a good farm and had it run by a good tenant, you wouldn't sell it because somebody said, here's a news item, you know, this is happening in Greece or something of the sort. If you owned an apartment house and you got to raise your rents a little, it was well located, and you had a good manager, you wouldn't dream of selling it. If you had a good business personally, the local McDonald's franchise, you know, you wouldn't be thinking about buying or selling it every day. Now, when you own stocks, you own pieces of businesses, and they're wonderful businesses. You can pick the best businesses in the world. And to buy or sell on current news is just crazy. You're in a wonderful business. You got people running it for you. You know you're going to do well over 5 or 10 years. And to think news events should cause you to try and dance in and out of something that's a wonderful game is a terrible mistake. So get into a bunch of wonderful businesses and stay with them.
But you said, I said buy and you changed it to hold. Does that mean don't sell, or does that mean?
Well, I mean, if you haven't got them yet, you buy them consistently over time. So you sort of average over time. And I've been buying all my life. I bought my first stock, you know, when I was 11 years old, and it was about 3 months after Pearl Harbor, and Corregidor was falling, and they had the death march at Bataan, and all the news was terrible. It was a great time to buy stocks. And I should have held that stock forever, and I've been buying stocks ever since.
I love volatility. I remember when in 1972 the market went from down dramatically, and Taco Bell went from 14 to 1. They had no debt. They never had a restaurant close. And I started buying at 7, but I kept on to it, and it went to 1. And it was the largest position in Magellan in 1978 when it was bought out by $42 by Pepsi-Cola. And I think it would have gone to 400 if they didn't buy it out. I think volatility is terrific. I think these callers are very important. I don't think the market going up 80 points one day and down 80 the next is a good thing for the public. I think that's not a very good thing. But I think all of these callers and all these other things, to keep the volatility down each day is important. But the market's going to go up and down. Human nature hasn't changed a lot in 25,000 years. And some event will come out of left field, and the market will go down or the market will go up. So volatility will occur, and markets will continue to have these ups and downs. I think that's a great opportunity if people can understand what they own. If they don't understand what they own, they can own mutual funds, try to figure out mutual funds they own, and keep adding to it. Basically, corporate profits have grown about 8% a year historically. So corporate profits double about every 9 years. The stock market ought to double about every 9 years. So I think the next market's about 3,800 today, 3,700. I'm pretty convinced the next 3,800 points will be up. It won't be down. The next 500 points, the next 600 points, I don't know which way they're going. So the market ought to double in the next 8 or 9 years. It ought to double again in the 8 or 9 years after that. Because profits will go up 8% a year, and stocks will follow. That's all there is to it.
What do you do, given your experience, when you think there may be too much froth, when you think there may be a major correction, even a crash? Do you sell all your stocks?
No, I really don't do anything.
You just show that patience, huh?
I bought them for the long pull, and I've seen a lot of recessions, and I can live through them.
What's the single most important thing that you have learned about investing over the past 3/4 of a century?
Patience.
Patience. Expand on that. How do you apply patience?
Well, I buy things for myself and for clients to hold for 5 years, 10 years. Because I won't be around for 10 years or any sizable part of it. But
you've fooled us before. You could fool us again.
Yes.
As an active investor, what do you think of this stock market today?
I think it's dangerous at present levels. A lot of froth on the boom. I think probably we're in for maybe something like 1987, when the market went down 500 points in one day. Perhaps we'll have a repeat of that. But in the long run, this is a great country, despite having too much government. And I think in the long run, the market will recover, and people who buy the right stocks and sit on them are going to do very well.
If you could give one sentence of advice to scared investors right now, what would it be?
I think you ought to see some kids, hire an 8-year-old, hire a 6-year-old, just watch them. They don't know who Alan Greenspan is. They don't know about the shape of the yield curve. They're optimistic about the future. We'll be fine for the next 30, 40 years.